Welcome, everybody. Boom.
Woo! Oh,
No.
Blood pressure.
No. 0. Manchester City 0. 0-0 at the Etihad. We get a point, and the positive Paulies in our fan base are going to be like, you know what? We got out of there with something. We got something. We're going to get a result.
That's what I was
God, we
say.
got. Oh God. Anyway, big up, Dal.
What up, bro? Good to
You
see
positive Paulie, big up. No, good to see you, Dal. Every single
I'm
time.
not positive, Paulie. I'm not negative, Nancy. I'm just high blood pressure, Dal.
No, absolutely. Facts. And again, thank you so much for coming on and doing this with me, man. Like, I was literally just like, do we really want to do this? And then Dal's like, yeah, we want to do it. Yeah, so we're going to do it. Match reaction for the Arsenal-Manchester City match. Big up everybody that is already inside. I see you, Elias. I see you, Henning Gunnar. Gunnar ER Coward. He is hot, dude.
ER is going to be hot today.
Dude, no, and I can't blame him.
AJ.
I can't blame him. Big up Joanne. Big up Joanne in the chat. Joanne, always here. Legendary. Big up Jaminho as well. Jaminho, Jaminho's going to have plenty to say about David Reyes' performance today.
Joanne, a big pile of poo. It's like watching paint in a Joanne.
Yeah, brutal. Absolutely brutal. But big up everybody in the chat. We're going to get to the player ratings. This will be a shorter one because there's not a ton to talk about. I mean, Dal, if you saw the watch along, you saw my reaction to it. But Dal, give your thoughts, man.
Today. Yeah, I watched a little bit of yours, a little bit of Tony Claude. Shout out.
Big up Tony Claude.
Gunner, of course, shout out. And of course, Jez and Yeti as well. They're watch along as well. Well, guys and gals, I don't know what to make to think of that. They were as bad as us.
Yep.
They were not good, and we were definitely not good. I think it was a game of two halves. I think the second half we came out with a lot more energy, a lot more determination, a lot more aggressiveness to get something. The first half, I thought we were actually just going through the motions, waiting for an opportunity on a counterattack that just really never came, right? We had, shout out Elias, we were in the mud absolutely the first half with 28% possession. I mean, absolutely, that's disgusting.
We weren't much better in the second either, but no, keep going.
That's us versus Sheffield, right? With them with 28%.
Yep.
And I don't, and it was the game was played in the middle of the park. There was a tons of fouls. I'm kind of glad the ref didn't give yellow cards because then I think the game would have really down tools, really came to a stop. If he started to hand out yellows, everybody would have been afraid to put in a tackle, would afraid to look at someone, touch them, whatever, So in that case, I'm glad he didn't give out yellows. He let the lads play. They beat each other up. They talked a bunch of crap to each other. But at the end of the day, nobody really produced anything special. The only person I'm really kind of extremely disappointed with today is our number 7, guys. I gotta say it. Jesus is on my shit list as well. Those two players, Saka and Jesus, are not big game players. They're not. There's moments, but they're consistently not big game players. And let's talk about that, TJ. But shout out everyone in the chat.
No, we can absolutely talk about that. Big up everybody in the chat. We got all the legends in the chat right now. Make sure you guys are smashing the likes. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel if you are new. Of course, we did get a couple of new subscribers during the watch along, so welcome to the family as well, people. Really, really appreciate it. We're up to 846, which is fantastic. Yeah. And big up my biggest fan, Stefan, in the chat. Hey, Stefan, I'm glad that you finally subscribed to the channel. I'm glad that you finally came here for some truth and honesty about your football club. He's saying, TJ, should Arteta be sacked now because we got a point at the place that Klopp has never won? No, did we win? We didn't win. So what are you talking about? I'm not happy. Like, what am I supposed to say? Oh yeah, we got away with one. We didn't let them win. Neither team looked like they wanted to win. That's the most frustrating part to me about this, is that we had 3 or 4 chances that could have been goals. We didn't take our chances. Jesus getting called a double agent. He looks like one after that match. Absolute joke today. He was out there, he was flopping, he was crying, did not look like scoring at all today. And the chances that he took went feet wide.
Yeah. That first one I thought was pretty damn close, but
and I did not forget that miss on the cross Saka. I cannot believe he missed. I think his feet might have just gotten caught up behind him or something like that. I don't know, man. But he missed. And that could have been 1-0 right there. There were a couple of chances. Obviously, we didn't have the ball. I wasn't expecting us to have dominate possession. I wasn't expecting it. That was not a bad cross. Stop it. Stop doing this, Stefan. Stop rewriting history. Please don't do this. He should have been there. The cross was good enough, in my opinion. Either way, we did not play to the level to win that match. We just didn't.
I really thought Havertz and Jesus were kind of just running into each other today.
Yeah.
To be honest, I mean, Havertz didn't know where to go. There was times Odegaard was screaming at him to attack the ball as they're playing back passes to Ortega. Odegaard was just screaming at him at certain parts, just throwing his hands in the air, trying to, press the middle. And Havertz is just fucking running around there again. And Jesus and him were running into each other. And you can add Saka in there, and there'd be the Three Stooges. It did not gel well today. And why did we start Jesus on the left? It screwed up the whole lineup. It put Martinelli out on the right. Is that the plan? Is the plan now to tinker with our front three and to mix them all up and play in positions they haven't played in all fucking season? Again, this is where Arteta is on the fence with me still. I am 50-50 on Arteta. I cannot commit one way or the other on this manager. I cannot let myself commit on it.
No, that's totally fine.
Not our best attacker, bro. He was running all over, Stefan. Our best attacker was who?
Yeah, you can't really even say somebody was our best attacker. I mean, if you're talking
Rice bringing the ball up, it wasn't Odegaard or Jesus or Saka.
Here's the thing: it's like I'm not going to be gaslit into saying into saying that this was a good performance from anybody other than Declan Rice and Gabriel and Saliba. Other than that, the rest of the team can hold it. Really, like we kept Haaland silent. That's really the biggest takeaway that you can take from this match is that we were sticking with him like right on Rice. Of course, you like that draw, Insman. Of course, all the Liverpool fans are gonna like that draw. Of
course,
and I'm fuming. Freaking Man City fans should be fuming.
Like on the video, man.
Yeah, big up Insman every single time. He's an absolute legend. Yeah, see you later. Me and Enz are gonna be on Jacob's channel later. Yeah, and he's gonna be dancing on me and Vader's graves because there is no way. I don't see where Liverpool drop points, and he knows it. Look at him, he knows it. So yeah, big up Insman. I'll see you later, bro. Anyway, yeah. So, no, let's talk about the attackers. You guys want to talk about Kai Havertz? Kai Havertz had several times where he could have made runs. Odegaard hanging on to the ball. There was a run there. There were 2 or 3 times where there were runs in direct passing lanes that Odegaard was waiting to hit, and he didn't. He just stood there on the line.
Yeah,
he stood there on the line.
Ran off sides. Or he ran off sides, bro. He ran behind him twice.
Yes. And here's one thing we can agree on. Odegaard didn't show up again.
I was going to, all right, my little to that.
Go for it.
He showed up. I think the second half was much, much better from him. But again, he had room on the ball. The first half, he has no room on the ball. We've said this over and over. He needs 2 or 3 yards in front of him to do what he can do. We know he can annihilate defensive back lines. We know that. We know he can play some cheeky passes. We know he can shoot outside the box, which he hasn't been doing lately for whatever reason. But the thing is that he's too inconsistent in big games. Big, you know what I'm saying? Sheffield, Luton, Crystal Palace, he looks like a fucking all-star. But when we come against City with teams that press hard and know what he can do and are defensively organized and sound, you just play close to him. If you play close to him like White on Rice, he can't do anything. And this is the problem because he ends up passing it lateral or he pass it back because that's all the other options we had. And 28% possession, that's all we had today. because their press was so heavy at the beginning. And it's, shout out Capo. It's so frustrating to watch because we see instances of breakthroughs, right? And you said it, you hit the nail right on the head. Kai Havertz is looking over his shoulder for that pass from Odegaard, but he doesn't know that he's halfway off sides. So Odegaard is holding back the ball, waiting for him to move, and then he runs off sides, comes back around, and the whole thing's broken down and we lose the ball. It's just, and I got to agree with Stefan too. De Bruyne was shit today. He was not very good at all. Doku, I don't know where the hell he was playing
Doku
garbage.
Doku proved everybody, all of his doubters correct today. He was shit. He had that chance, and I thought it was deflected. No, he skied it a mile off. Right. This guy is shit.
So if you're in City being not good today, and that's right. But Stefan,
I'm not saying
we should have stepped all over them. We should have stepped all over them today, knowing that they're not the team of last season, knowing that KDB is not the player he's been for the last 6-7 years, knowing that Jack Grealish isn't out there. They could put Jack Grealish on. I was scared to death, but Ben White to me was one of the better players out there, and we'll get into that again. Odegaard needs room on the ball. When he has no room in these tight contested games, this is what happens. And that, again, goes to the playbook of not having a plan B. Because when it doesn't work, it doesn't really work at all. And let's be honest, Havertz is supposed to be the sub for Odegaard anyway. So I'm just, and I don't understand why Martinelli was on the right. Play him up front. Play him up front. If he was the center forward, Trossard would have had, 15 yards to loop a ball into him in the 92nd minute. 1-0, we go home. Martinelli was screaming for the ball, that Trossard miss at the end.
Yep.
If Martinelli was middle, who knows?
There were just the options. The options weren't. We just weren't on it today. And that's really truly what it is. We were lucky that they weren't. They were actually shit. If we're going to be honest with ourselves, they were actually shit. De Bruyne, terrible game. Rodri, mid. These guys. Who can I say that played really, really well for Man City? I really don't.
Gavinal.
I really can't think of anybody. Gvardiol played well.
Gavinal,
yeah. Jack Grealish was getting screamed off the pitch by Pep. He wasn't good either. Honestly,
Grealish should be the difference maker. I really thought Grealish was going to be the difference maker.
Right. I mean, it just didn't look, especially in that second half, it didn't look like anybody wanted to win the game. It really didn't. Didn't. And you could say Silva. I mean, Silva played well, sunshine, but what did he do? What did he really do other than dance around the midfield with the ball? He really didn't do much. And that's why this game, I guess I'm frustrated too, because we talked about this for weeks and weeks and weeks, built this up, and it was a shit game.
Right.
Arsenal didn't play well. 75% of possession went to Man City. They couldn't capitalize on any of their chances. And again, I'm going to say this, and it'll be reflected in the player ratings. Big up Saliba and Gabriel. Fantastic games from both of them. Kiwior, meh. White had a good game. But other than that, the rest of the team, and Rice had a good game. The rest of the team can hold it, man. The rest of the team can hold it.
This wasn't Rice's best game so far. This is Rice's best game.
Talk on it.
Well, I just think that he was, of course, the engine in there, but he was dead tired, bro, by the 70th minute. Because he was doing everything. He was attacking, he was defending. I think Jorginho was really silent today. I mean, I guess that's
see him very much.
Right. I guess that's a good thing because then you're not calling him out. But to be honest, Thomas Partey looks sus, man. He's holding on the ball too long. He played a couple back safe passes that he probably could have played forward. But with Jorginho and specifically with Rice, the up and down was good. I thought, he was definitely the more stronger, more aggressive midfielder from both sides in the middle of the pitch. But it just wasn't as good as we've seen. And that's because we're facing, the best opposition in the world. So you got to kind of give them that as well, right? KDB and Rodri and Silva and all those guys, Kovacic in the midfield. If you got to keep those three kind of wrangled, that is a tough job. So Declan Rice is still one of the better players today, but he's played better. But again, it's The substitutions were still reactive, but I think we're correct, even though I don't agree with the positions. Right? Martinelli had to play. Trossard had to play.
Yep.
I thought it was good to get Kiwior off of there because I think over time he would have definitely become the weak link. Maybe not with Doku, but anyway. But that's how he made the right subs, even though they are a bit reactionary, which we come to expect from Arteta, right? He's hardly ever the first guy to sub. He wants to see what the opposition does and then make his chess move afterwards. But today, maybe that wasn't the day. Maybe the day was to take Havertz off and put Trossard up front. Take Jesus off, move him to the right because Saka was shit, and put Martinelli on the left. That's the move I would have made. But of course, I'm not Mikel. Maybe there's a shout out for ESR to get some energy in the midfield, but I think he's kind of done at Arsenal. And I don't know if the result necessarily 007 was fair, but both teams did not show much.
Yeah.
No. They had some bad passing. We intercepted some stuff that they were trying to work on. I thought Gabriel was immense today and talking smack to Holland, knocking Holland around. That's what I was saying in some of the chat. Sometimes these guys, as you guys know in the chat, you just got to put them on their ass. If they have the ball and their back is towards the out of bounds line and they're, doing step overs, you got to put them on their butt. You have to knock them down and get the foul. Don't yellow card them, of course, and don't go in, like a WWE wrestler to get a red. You got to knock these guys down. You got to let them know that you're not going to put up with them, ticky-tacky on your pitch. And I thought we did that pretty well at times. I like the physicality you've shown today, but it just wasn't as refined as it could have been. I think the whole performance could have been much better because we knew they were a weakened City side. But yeah, Malia's 100% right. They definitely cancel each other out.
Yeah. Well, we didn't get turned over at the Etihad draw. I don't think so. And here's the thing too. And big up everybody that's joining. We just had a bunch of people join. Big up Tony Claude as well, my guy, every single freaking time. Are we celebrating a draw? No, we're not. We're not celebrating. We are not celebrating. Big up Mari as well. Mari, an absolute freaking legend, bro. Big up Mari. Big up Tony, and obviously big up Tony, Claude, Po. Gunner, man. We didn't smash him up, Tony, but we got a result. No, and we're not celebrating. I think we're showing that we're pretty frustrated. We played a Man City team today that I feel like we could have gotten at. Like an Arsenal that is playing Arsenal football could have gotten at today, but we didn't play mistake-free football. We let them hold onto the ball most of the match. We did the right things defensively, but offensively we were just flaccid. Nothing happening. So I don't know, man. I'm just, what we didn't get turned over. That's a result. Well, no. And here's the thing is that we were never going to get, here's the point that I was going to make. And then I got really, really frustrated. And then I got really, really distracted. We were never going to get turned over. We do not play the football that Mikel Arteta plays, and big up for Mikel Arteta for getting us into this kind of position and getting us playing this kind of football is we do not concede easily. We don't. Man City did not score on us this season. Whereas last season, they absolutely pummeled us. So the way that we play football, the way that we set up defensively, there was no way we were going to get smashed. Like all the City fans thinking that they were going to score 3 goals on us. No way. Who has scored 3 goals on us? Other than Luton Town, which I think is away from the mean. I think that was a what do you call that?
A complete outlier.
A complete outlier. Thank you. A complete outlier. But the rest of them, who has scored 3 goals on us? You can count West Ham, but that was also a weird one. It's one of those things where and Luton, you guys say Luton. Yeah, that was the outlier, and I think that was David Raya's worst game in our shirt, easily. But other than that, we don't get we do not. Yeah, and big up Luke James as well. And then I'll finish up with this, and then we can get to the
bro, take your time. I know it's not a result we wanted by any means.
It's just
it's frustrating. It's frustrating to be up at 8:30 in the morning and watch a 0-0 draw, watch your team absolutely get owned in the first half. Because the first 15 minutes, I thought they were going to score. I literally thought they were going to score in the first 15 minutes by the way we were just completely pressed, low blocked in our box. But we made it through, and it's and we missed our opportunities. It's just one of those tight games. It's kind of like a Liverpool-Chelsea game, right? I mean, you can almost bet it's going to be a 0-0 or a 1-1 game almost every single time.
Yeah. No.
And we took and the highlight, which I know we hate highlights of the season, is we took 4 points off of them this season. So I guess that's something to put in our pocket, even though it's not much. But today was a must-win, TJ. And I floated the idea that draw. We got 9 more games in the season. There's maybe there's a draw is not going to be a killer, but the performance today worries me going forward a little bit.
Yeah, Liverpool have not beaten.
We just aren't ready for this type of pressure.
Yeah. No, I know. And look, this being said, we didn't get turned over as a Spurs mentality. None of us are happy. Let's just be real. None of us are happy because we just basically handed Liverpool the league. And I don't think it's in Liverpool's hands now to win the league. And that's why I think we're all very, very disappointed. And if you had told me at the beginning of the season, Dal, that we were going to get 4 points off of Man City, I don't think I would have told you to go fuck yourself. I would not have. I would not. I would have taken that right now. But in the context of right now, it's just extremely disappointing. And now you're going to have to go back and you're going to have to look at dropping 5 points to Fulham. You're going to have to look at the games that we drew earlier in the season, losing to West Ham at home. Right. You're going to look back at those games and you're going to be like, man, what if?
Look at the Jorginho slip against
Tottenham. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that right there, that was the third or fourth game of the season. That already had me worried with what was to come.
Yeah.
But again, we went to the Etihad, a full house, without a proper striker, essentially.
Yeah.
And something we've been crying out for. Would Ivan Toney made a difference today? I'm not so sure. Would Osimhen or whatever his name is made a difference today? I'm not so sure. But I know they would have performed better than Havertz running off sides, waiting for a through ball. Like there's something in the communication with Odie and Havertz that just isn't right. We see his communication with Trossard is spot on. With Martinelli, pretty much spot on. With Jesus, it lacks something. With Saka, it's not so bad. It could be better. But with Havertz, it's like they're speaking completely two different languages. Like he's literally speaking Norwegian and he's literally speaking German back to him. Right.
No, you're right. You're right.
Look, and Havertz is looking over his shoulder for the through ball, and Odegaard's trying to say, "You're not fucking open, bro. Your foot is behind the defenders. You are offside, so I'm not going to play that ball." It's like in FIFA, you can't pass to the guy when he's offsides. It literally passes the ball backwards for you automatically. Some of this stuff, it's just bewildering. And I think it's the pressure. It's the youth. It's the pressure. It's where we're at in the table. It's where they're at in the table. It's all about pressure and playing a team that is very, very good. Again, they're not Sheffield or fucking Palace, man. We're not going to go put a 4-0 pounding on them at home or away. That's just not going to happen. They put it on us, but we didn't have, they put on us last season because I think, if I remember, Xhaka was terrible that game, and Tomiyasu gave up a back pass that put Haaland right in.
Yep.
So I said it the other day, we got to just play mistake-free football, which we did today, but we should have also been a little more, I don't know, attack-minded wise in the final third. It felt like we kind of ran out of ideas. They would try somewhat of a low block with Haaland up top that didn't really, help us out much. It's just either both teams just didn't seem committed today.
Yeah.
One little pieces of it.
Yeah. I just think that the players that you expect to come out and have quality didn't have quality. You can talk about you talk about the stars in the lineup like Kevin De Bruyne, Haaland, who freaking old boy Phil Foden. Let's talk about Phil Foden. Average, not there.
Ben
you know
White.
What I mean? Ben White, Odegaard again, not good enough in my opinion. Like he didn't play terribly, but he wasn't good enough. Like nobody can say Jorginho absent. Nobody can say, "Oh yeah, no, I played an excellent game." Other than respective fullbacks and center backs. Other than that, nobody really can. And if you're going to try to big up this as like some sort of, Arsenal win. Yeah, not
No,
really.
no,
Not really.
no.
Like, and I'm just saying that. I'm just saying that now because I know what
Sure.
I'm going to run. I know what I'm going to run into. I'm going on vacation on Wednesday, and I'll be streaming. Will be meh. But I know I'm gonna run into on those streams that I go to is you should be happy. You should be this. You should be that. You should be grateful. Grateful for what? Grateful for the fact that we're in second place again, and we're gonna end up right where we were last season.
Right.
I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about it. And the fact that what really bugs me is that we could have gotten more out of this game if we were more clinical. If you really think about it, we had changed. Yep. And here's the thing is they looked nervous too.
Yep.
So it's not like they weren't there to get gotten at. They were. We didn't take our chances.
But my thing is too, yeah, I would agree. Both teams were cautious on the ball, right? Maybe nervous is the right word. Very cautious with the ball. But did you feel like City was going to get the breakthrough? Just that one through ball from Foden or Silva was going to seal the deal at the end, or Grealish? Because I kind of felt that myself. Like it's going to take just one pass, and it's going to be a dink into the far post, and it's going to be a 1-0 smash and grab for either team. But I thought City were on the dominant side of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree.
Until I saw Trossard run out with the ball, and I'm screaming at my television for him to put it in the middle to Martinelli, and he takes a shit shot. You know?
Yeah. Well, I think that was the only shot on target too, by the way. I'm pretty sure. Let me look. I'm pretty sure that was the only shot on target all match.
They weren't on target, obviously, but they were close. Yeah. You know, and that's why I'm not going to thrash Jesus so bad, because he did have two of the better shots, even though they were on target. But I think that first one just misses inches from the post.
Yeah.
You know, and then actually, and after that shot, I thought we were kind of, okay, maybe we're up for it today. No, we're not.
No, we're not. No, and okay, so Arsenal had two shots. Arsenal had two shots on target. Man City had one, and I don't even remember Man City's shot on target, to be honest with you. There was that chance that Ake should have had, but that was deflected, so that didn't necessarily count. So yeah, the other ones I think were a P roller from Doku, and I don't know, man.
Another positive aspect, not about this game, but our defense today was very good, and this is what we talked about: Starsky and Hutch, right?
Yep.
Saliba and Gabriel. Can we do this against Bayern Munich? Can we do this at Bayern Munich, right? Can we get the level of defensive performance from those two to do what they did to Holland to Harry Kane?
Yep.
And I think so. I'm positive in what we can do against Bayern Munich with a strong defense.
Yeah. No, exactly. And here's the thing. Is what I saw from let me just talk real quick about Gabriel and Saliba, because we said, yeah, he stuck with him like white on rice. The only way that Man City looked like they were gonna score is if they could get a ball over the top to Holland. I was doing the watch along with Vader, and he was screaming for it. He was calling for it. But even when he did that, Gabriel and Saliba were yards behind him, ready to get that ball.
Yeah.
They were ready. So that was
the blueprint they had last season.
Yeah.
Win.
Yeah. And, they weren't playing against Rob Holding this season. Thank God. You know what I mean? So I'm very, very excited. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the prospect of us setting up well enough to keep Bayern Munich silent. I think we have the ability to do that, or at least keep the damage down at home. At the Allianz.
That's a toss-up, right?
Dude.
But if they play defensively, that still means we need a 3-goal margin to go to the Allianz, right? In my opinion, I don't think 1-0, 2-0, 2-1 is going to do it. We have to play them off the park and take advantage of them only having maybe a few hundred fans there that'll sneak in or get in, whatever. Because they're not going to have they're not going to have 5,000, 10,000 fans there, right?
Yeah.
They got busted at Lazio for their fans' behavior, so they've been stricken for that. But that's either here nor there. It's really going to be about Gabriel and Saliba, and I don't want to make this about Bayern Munich, but I want the defensive mentality that we had today to carry through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to see a low block against Bayern Munich like we did today, but I want that defensive strength and mentality there because we're going to need it. And if we can shut down Harry Kane, I really think that takes a very potent piece out of their attack. I know they've got Gnabry, Coman, etc., Kimmich, Gretzka, etc., Musiala. I know they have weapons, but Harry Kane is their main weapon. And just like Holland City's main weapon. If we can isolate him, put him down on the ground. That's why I was so happy about Gabriel today. Every time the ball came to Holland, he put him on the ground practically.
Yep. He was bullying him.
Yeah, it's not always a foul. You know, half the time the forward falls over because they're getting the foul, but you pull your hands up, you know, it's going to do what he did today. And I think Gabriel has had Kane in his pocket at times.
Yeah. No, I agree.
You know? So I'm very disappointed for today, but our defensive performance today shows that we can do something of a lone block, that we can stop literally the best team in the world from running all over us. Even with the 70% possession, they didn't do much of anything. So there's some positive to glean from this, but we needed 3 points today.
Facts. Big up Elias. TJ, I want to do a show with you and Stefan. Join me. No, I cannot today. I am hungover. But I have a show tonight with Jacob, and between now and then I have to spend some time with the wife. So that is not going to happen today, but I appreciate the invite, Elias. Every time we can try to get together at some other point.
Let's get Elias on the show in a couple weeks.
Yeah, maybe we can get Elias on American Idiots.
I'm kind of curious what Tottenham fans are thinking right now. Not that I care that much, but I am kind of curious because you guys have been fifth all season. It's been brilliant. So I'm just curious what Mari has to say about being fifth over and over and over.
Dude, they were fuming on Tottenham away last night. I tuned in. They were fuming, bro. It was actually they were very honest about it. Like those guys are critically honest about it. But yeah, I mean everybody we celebrated beating Luton by 1 goal away, and hopefully and that's our next league game is against Luton on Wednesday, and I think we should batter them. If we don't batter them, at home. If we don't batter them, it's gonna be a failure in my opinion. But that's Wednesday.
Going back to the 4-3. I mean, Declan Rice, 90th minute? My guy, Jorginho's guy. Those games happen. Those games happen, right? I remember,
like we said earlier, it's an outlier.
I remember a game, I think it was like 2007 or 8. We were playing, I think it was like Blackburn, and we were literally down, I think like 3-0, and came back to 1. I think 4. Or we were down 2-0. We came back to win 3-2 in pouring rain. Just as we opened the Emirates Stadium. So I mean, there's just games like that happen, And Luton have something to play for. They've had something to play for since day one.
Man,
they've got 3 or 4 good players on that squad.
Yep, they do. I mean, and they looked like scoring. They just didn't have the final touch. And I think they had several chances. They scored an own goal. They just can't get out of their way. And I mean, even with they have the quality to stay up. It's just they aren't really getting out of their own way.
Great coach.
Great
this
coach.
Isn't about Luton, is it?
This is not about Luton.
Personal deficit today.
Correct.
We did not play well. We didn't look well. But we
got the point. Yeah, we escaped with the point. And look, I'm going to be neutral on this. You can call me a fence sitter all you want. I'm just disappointed in general with the way that we played going forward. Other than that, I mean, what are we going to sit on here and pretend like we got battered? We didn't. So it's kind of just a meh. It's a meh. Big up Charlie. He says, big up guys. That was the worst game of Prem football I've ever seen. Based on that, neither guys. I mean, I've seen worse, but there were moments there where I felt like me and Dust talked about it. It looked like we were watching kindergarten football in Man City's boxing time. Like nobody wanted the ball. Yeah, it was kind of brutal. But anyway, what game are Liverpool losing? That's the problem. That's the problem. I wanted to ask. I started this question. Big up Gunnar ER. I started this question. Are we beating?
Shit, bro. Right.
Yeah.
Those are 3 Chelsea. Chelsea, you're shit. Right.
Yep.
But will they show up against Arsenal?
They normally do.
Normally do.
Yeah. So
Oh, those 3 games are tough as nails, bro.
dude, United, and here's the thing: is
And
you think
United,
we're gonna go to you think we're gonna go to OT and batter United? Like we're not, dude. We step our own. I say this over and over and over again. And by the way, smash the likes before I get this thing demonetized. We always step on our own dicks at Old Trafford. United do not beat us at Old Trafford. Bro, Arsenal beat themselves at Old Trafford, bro.
ER puts things in perspective, bro. ER puts things in perspective. We think you're up here, and then ER just says, "Hey guys, don't forget this, this, and this." Like, oh fuck yeah,
shit, yeah. And we still have to go to the fucking shithole, bro. Yeah. It's as simple as that. Yeah. We ain't winning them all, and and the worst part about it is, and then we'll get to the player rating segment because I do have to go here pretty soon. Is that the worst part about that is now we're depending on Liverpool to drop points. I don't see where they drop points necessarily. I mean, they have a tough away day at United. United's always tough to go and play at. I don't care how good a form you're on. Old Trafford is always tough to go to. Unless you're like Bournemouth or something and they just stink, but we're not going to get into that. And then Aston Villa are going to be up for beating us. And obviously Spurs and Chelsea. I mean, these are tough games. And then you have to go and play Bayern Munich. I mean, say we go to the Allianz and we get absolutely slammed. We are absolutely slapped, which I don't think is going to happen, but we lose, right? What does that do to our league form? Because this team puts our heads down, man, and we have a hard time bringing it back up.
That's what I've said all last season with our show is that we carry a dark cloud over our heads after a loss. Sometimes it's not unheard of for us to lose a game, draw a game, lose a game, and then go back to winning 2 or 3 in a row. And that's we've you saw that last season, right? We went on that bad run where we lost to City. I think we drew to Everton, then we lost and maybe drew again. Right, I think it wasn't like West Ham, Southampton in there because we lost to City and then there was sort of a downfall, right? And I think it was Everton, Southampton, West Ham from last season. I don't mean to bring that up so much last season. I know that's all water on the bridge now, but this season it's kind of like what Northside hit on last Friday that we've improved. Yeah, with 93%, but that 7% was so bad, right? But I think we've improved on that 7% with the addition of Declan Rice. The way Saliba and Gabriel have improved since last season at times, let's be honest. Saliba hasn't been injured like he was. So I think there has been some ground made up. But, you look at what like ER says, AFC always, all the real ones who've been through this path before for many, many years. Like, even myself in some cases. There's absolutely zero guarantee we win at Villa, Chelsea, or Spurs, or United. Those 4 games are going to be hard as hell because all 4 of those teams have something to play for. And like what I said, it gets harder when we get deeper into it. Yeah, exactly. 20 years.
Yep.
20 years. I'm at 24, 25 because I started watching when my daughter was born. Because I finally had, good cable. Before that, it was 442 magazine. So, I mean, it's peak, bro. We're looking at this game as this thing, and then ER just hits us with 4 new games that are absolutely toss-ups. We could absolutely put on a stinker against Villa. We could absolutely put a stinker against Chelsea. And Spurs is scary. If they win a couple in a row, they're going to have some confidence. Let's get into player ratings.
It's peak. It's peak, man.
I know when ER put that out there, it's just like you've got to look ahead at the schedule. 9 games left, tough games. I don't see Luton, Sheffield, Palace on any. Well, Luton, Sheffield, Palace. None of those bad teams are on that run-in. Maybe Wolves at the end.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna get into the player rating segment, guys. Go ahead and by the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel and you're listening, subscribe to the channel. Smash a like. If you're watching on playback, leave a comment. Let us know what you think of the channel. Let us know what you think of the show. Let us know what you think about the game. Let us know what you think about Dow's awesome white hat. Let us know what you think about all of it, man.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
kind of Spursy, isn't it? Sorry.
Nah, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
I'm a
I wore the
Brady
pink. I wore the pink kit today because I thought it would bring us some luck, but it didn't. But anyway, players break segment, guys. Play in the chat.
It matches your
Yeah.
skin tone from all the alcohol you had last night.
Dude, I'm
Actually
actually dying. Bro, I'm actually dying. So let's get this going. David Raya.
You want me to go first?
Yeah,
David
you
Raya,
go first.
I'm gonna, he was under pressure a lot. I'm going to give him a 7.
Okay. David Raya gets a 7. I would say 6. Just personally, he made me a little bit nervous, but I mean, he's your player, so he made me nervous a little bit. And he had some trouble. He had some trouble getting the ball forward. And there were times when he was taking a little bit too much time off the ball.
Yeah, and he got the card for that. But I thought he was good. He was controlling. We weren't doing the back pass bullshit. Pass it to Kiwior, pass back to Rhea, pass to Ben White. Right? He was pushing them up and kicking the ball out, and that's what we wanted to see. So.
Yep, 100%. 100%. I'm having trouble figuring out what layout I want to use here, but I want to keep the chats going. Now his long passing was off. That's why I would give him a 6, but it's Dal's rating. It's Dal's rating. Kiwior I thought was fine, but he just looked tired at the end, which is why you saw Tomiyasu come on. So I'm going to give Kiwior a 6. I'm gonna give him a 6. Didn't concede. Looked okay. Looked fine. Good Guderiar. Good Lord, he wasn't that bad. He did well. He did well on the right side. I think locking up Manchester City's right side. I'm gonna give him a 6. I'm gonna give him a 6. He didn't do well, but he didn't put a foot wrong that made us concede. So that's what it is. It is what it is.
Played 120 minutes for Poland yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and he played 120 minutes for Poland.
Yeah. So. I think the Kiwior for Tomiyasu sub was spot on.
Yeah, it was, but I don't think Tomiyasu played that well. Is my thing, but we'll get to that. What do you got for Gabriel? You get Gabriel, my guy.
Almost. Oh man. 9. I gotta give him my man of the match.
You got him not easy. He was your man of the match, huh?
Yeah. I thought Saliba had a couple headers that were sort of off. I thought Saliba had a good game as well, but just Gabriel just in his face, talking shit to Holland, knocking him down, not taking crap from him. Gabriel was pushing and pulling and pointing. Yeah, he's got to be the guy today.
Okay, that's fair. He gets a 9. Agree, my man of the match too. I think him. Yeah, he'd be my man of the match too. To be honest with you, I think that's a fair rating, especially given some of the ratings that we're gonna get. Said it would be a draw. Daniel Popper Chelsea. Yep, you were correct, man. Yep. You were correct. Dead. DEAD. Dead.
It was a dead game till the second half. I thought was a lot better than the first.
Yeah, 100%. Saliba gets I mean, he locked up Holland today. He gets an 8. Solid. And look, these are the 2 highest ratings I'm going to give before you guys call me a happy clapper. I think Saliba tracked the balls over the top really, really well. He was there most of the time. Really didn't really put a foot wrong. Not that I can think of it. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but yeah, I'm giving him an 8. I thought our back line, like I said, our center backs were studs today. So yeah, I'm giving him an 8. What do you got for White? Dow.
I'm going to give him an 8 as well. I thought he was fantastic today.
Yep.
I thought that was one of his better games, even though obviously as a complete unit today, we didn't play as well as we wanted, but I thought he was solid against Bernardo Silva. I mean, Phil Foden.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought, and he had a little trickery. He's good on the ball. So yeah, I think he had a solid 8 today.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that. Again, like I said, our back line, with the exception of Kiwior, was good. I mean, Kiwior just looked a little sluggish. Just comparatively. Yeah, no, I agree with the 8, 100%. Let's get into. I'm going to take Jorginho. I thought Jorginho was not great today. I'm giving him a 5. You didn't really see him do much or create much. He had one good ball that I remember over the top to Saka that we just wasted that chance. But other than that, I thought he was mediocre. Yeah, I thought he was mediocre. I'm going to give him a
He was one
5.
of the quieter players on the pitch. And I don't know, maybe we can ask the guys in the chat, especially like Hendon, Gunnar ER, Hugo.
Gunnar ER wants him to retire. So that.
Yeah, I don't even want to like cleaning the buses, bro. But the thing is that he's in the squad. He played. Is it so? Let me ask you guys this: Is it when a player like Jorginho today was very quiet, right? Is that because he's doing good things, or is that because he's absolutely dog shit? I'm kind of in the of both. If you're quiet, then you're not. Are you really in the game? But if you're quiet, maybe you're doing things that aren't getting you called out, right? So I'm just kind of curious what you guys think in the chat, especially like Hendon and ER and so forth.
Yeah. No, I agree. Answer those questions in the chat, guys.
On that, when players do that, when they show up kind of halfway, but they're not good, but they're not bad. How do you guys rate them?
I mean, and I wasn't, very conservative. Yeah, That's the perfect word for it. Conservative. He didn't do. He was well. He didn't look like he was making any passes or trying to make any passes that were going to be game changing. I mean, at this point, like other than the Liverpool, like when can you think of a time when Jorginho really put in a game changing performance?
Right, and then I ask when I see that, then I ask, well, is conservative in this game that we just saw is that good? Because in this game, if he's not conservative, is there more opportunities on attack? That's the thing I had with Jorginho today, right? Is that he's conservative, which is very true, but do we want him conservative in a game like this? That's the thing. They were there for the taking at times. And if Jorginho could have done this, could have done that a little differently, maybe played some of those beautiful looped, overhead balls into Jesus or something, or maybe into Saka to run onto. Maybe there's something there. But yeah, I think that's a big debate in football, TJ. If you're quiet, are you good or are you crap?
Yeah, I would say he was being responsible, but I mean, I'm going to give him an average 5. I was going to give him an average 5 just because. Meh. Yeah, we got 20 likes. Make sure that you guys are smashing the likes up too. I don't say that enough. Smash the likes up. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Oregon Goon as well. His link will be in the title. Declan Rice. You take Declan Rice, man.
I'm going to give Declan Rice a solid 7 today.
Yeah.
I thought that he broke up a lot of their passes and doing the job that he needs to do. I think some people probably rate him a little bit higher, maybe even lower. I don't know. But I thought for me today was a good 7. He's had better games, but he was definitely could have. I think there was a bit more there. But then again, like we said, you got to play KDB. You got to play Rodri. You got to play against Kovacic. All 3 of those guys. I mean, dude, that's not easy.
True.
It's really not easy. So yeah, maybe a 7 I think is fair.
I think a 7 is really fair. And Hugo, I'm glad you made that point because we talked about that too. His set pieces weren't great, but I mean, you're depending on a CDM to be your set piece taker. It's kind of peak, and I'm glad that we're putting him in that position. But you can't expect him to put in 10 out of 10 performances from the corners every single time. He was hitting the first man a lot, but the way that we were setting up our corners too was really, really weird. We were lining the far side of the box every time. Like, you could literally see blue close to the corner, red on the outside of the corner, and he kept hitting the first man. It was really disappointing in that fact. So yeah, I mean, I agree. I'll give him an 8 or a 7. With you. Big up Ryan as well. It was not a 16 out of 10 today. Unfortunately, it wasn't. You're right. All right, let's move into. I get Martin Odegaard, huh?
You get whoever you want. That's your show.
Yeah. Odegaard, man. I said that he would need to show up and really be the catalyst for us to win, and he didn't really. I thought he was better in the second half.
Much better.
But again, you can't really do much when you have like 25-30% of the ball. So yeah, I'm gonna give him a 6. I didn't think if you're giving Declan Rice a 7 for doing what he's supposed to do, I don't think Odegaard did what he was supposed to do today. It's another one of those games where you're gonna say, hey, what if Odegaard had showed up? Hey, what if Odegaard had made that pass?
Yeah.
it might be, people might think that that's harsh, but I just don't think that he hits
Good
it.
yards to 0.
Yeah. Failed wonderkind is what he says. Ducking
Yeah.
challenges. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't see him ducking challenges, but I mean, I just don't think that.
I saw a couple.
Yeah.
He could have if he would have just put his chest out, he could have maybe bumped the ball, got some forward memento on top of a Kanji. There was a couple times. I think a 6 is a bit high.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah. I'm
Actually,
for
you
me,
know what? I'm agreeing with you.
high level. Yeah, the first half was not good. But like you said before, he has no space. He has to have space. But the second half was better. So yeah, I mean, I would have given him a 3 or 4 if we were just basing it on the first half. But
Yeah.
I thought he produced something better in the second half to at least be a little average.
Yeah, no, I agree. You know what? Yeah, I'm going with you on that one. 5. Yeah, Odegaard can't show up in these games because he's Guerrier is an absolute legend, man.
He wants a
So
trophy.
funny. Dude, so do I. We all want trophies, man. We all want it. What do you give Gabriel Jesus? What do you give Gabriel Jesus, Del?
Gabriel Jesus?
Yeah.
3? Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me, TJ? No. Let's talk about this guy for a second. Oh, what's there left to say? Hugo, a 5. Wow. Hugo must have a jersey. Yeah, selfish as fuck. You're right, Daniel. Yeah, I am not impressed with what I saw today at all. I was furious when he got the yellow card and smiled off like it was nothing. Oh, I'm playing against my old squad. It's funny. No. The defensive work, I hear you, Hugo. And that's why I didn't give him a 2, because he had to come back and help Kiwior a lot in the first half. Let's be honest, he was playing left mid in the first half. Gabriel Jesus is a Premier League Neymar.
Ooh.
He will look good at times. He will look, Jesus said, even better. Even better. I'm tired of the theatrics. I'm tired of theatrics. I'm tired of the falling down, the comical looks he gets on his face. He looks confused, right? Why did the ref make that call on me? And that look of his eyebrows and shit. I'm over it. I'm over it. Score goals. He came close today. Like that one in the first, 10, 15 minutes, nicked the edge of the post. But if Holland would have had that chance, he would have buried it. Right? Who else? Somebody from Crystal Palace, Edouard, he would have hit that. I think that goal that Jesus attempted at the beginning of the game, another top striker would have scored that. Ortega was laying it down, and he just missed outside the post. And he has a great shot. What it is. He looks like the gingerbread man. He does look like the gingerbread man. I just think I'm just kind of over it. I don't see what he brings that's so dynamic to the team anymore. I mean, yeah, he's fast. He can annoy defenders and so forth. But other than that, I just don't see what he really brings, CJ. And there's so many better players right now in Europe that we could easily get this summer. Maybe hopefully, maybe just some way the Zinchenko Jesus double agent City to Arsenal thing is done. Maybe this is the summer that we sell them both. Because I think when we first signed them, they were there, let's be honest, to really help Mikel.
Yeah, right? No, I agree. I agree with that, actually.
A couple players that he could really trust, obviously, from the City days. But that time now is way, way gone. And what kind of striker comes out and says, "Oh, I don't score goals"? Get in the bin, bro. There's better out there.
No, I agree.
Better out there.
I agree. Conte ball. Oh my God. I think you're overstating the fact there a little bit, Stel.
5th.
I agree with that. 5th. Saka.
Oh.
He was not good today. And in the first half, I was blaming it on the fact that he wasn't getting a lot of service because the ball really wasn't on that side of the pitch very much. but he was almost like at the beginning of the game, and this is kind of where I agree with
Nice.
Stell a little bit. Sorry, I'm completely out of it. He was almost playing like him and Jesus were both playing like wing backs at the beginning of that game a little bit. Like they were not up the pitch very much.
Yeah.
So I just think that, Saka didn't create anything. He wasn't getting a lot of chances either. I don't know, man. I just expect more out of the star boy. At times there was times where he looked frustrated and disinterested. I'm gonna give him a 4, and I hate doing that, but I'm gonna give him a 4. I was genuinely disappointed a little bit. I was genuinely disappointed. What do you
Yeah.
think?
I agree. I was going to give him a 3 or a 4, either one of those two. I just thought that it's like he's begging for the ball to be sent to him on a platter, right? And that's obviously that's not going to happen. That doesn't happen in these games. It happens for certain players some of the time, but they have the players to back it up to make things like that happen. Saka getting the ball, put on his left foot, outside edge of the box. We saw none of that today. And I don't even know if he was trying that. Like I literally don't know what he was doing today. But passing the ball laterally and backwards and making a couple of decent runs on the out wide when he was, really out wide. He wasn't able to cut in much. Garvadal had him basically in his pocket, I would think, for most of that game, especially in the first half. I don't know. I'm very conflicted with Saka right now. We see moments of brilliance, and then games like this where he just shuts down. And you're right. It's like, does he want to be the star boy? Does he even want that? I don't know. I don't know. I question even sometimes his commitment to the club, because I really feel if Liverpool or City come calling, he's going to go.
I don't think it's to that point yet, but man, I don't know, man. It's just
How many goals he has this season?
What?
Is he our top scorer? Is he even our top scorer this season? He probably is.
Yeah, he is. He is.
12, 13 goals. I don't know.
He is. He has one of the highest GAs in the league. But here's the thing, though, is that he goes a lot of those come from the batterings that we threw on West Ham and Burnley and Sheffield United. So like context is important there. I just think that there's obviously a player there. I think he can be a star. It's just whether or not he can step up and the team around him steps up. And right now, we haven't seen it, man. We haven't seen it.
Yeah. He's too predictable. He's too predictable.
We've been saying it all season too.
Right. And that's where it's like, I don't know if it's positioning wise, if he's too far up the field on too wide, because, some insane asinine dickheaded people last season were making the Ronaldo comparison, right? There was rumors of Saka's playing it like Ronaldo. Give me a fucking break. Ronaldo was getting the ball basically at the halfway line and running diagonally towards the goal and flanking defenders and pushing them off like it was nothing. Saka stays stagnant. Saka stays stagnant. I can't even say that myself.
That's okay.
He stays stagnant. Thank you. On the wide right. And so he's only left with what? A double team and passing the ball backwards.
Yeah. I mean, and the way that he plays too relies so much on the overlap to take some pressure away from him. And when that doesn't happen, he just gets triple teamed and loses the ball. We saw it today a couple of times. And Ben White, the one criticism that I would give to Ben White is sometimes he was really, really late on the overlap. And by the time he was over on the overlap, the ball was gone.
Couldn't commit like that, TJ, because of City, right? If
Fair.
You see Ben White overlapping and getting, he had a decent cross, I think, at the beginning of the first half. But if he overlaps, there's a massive, massive gap on that side, Yeah. And that's where I think that Arteta does get it right at times, and telling Ben White, or, even if it was Zinchenko or Tomiyasu or whatever, do not overcommit on the overlap against teams like City, because they'll fucking kill you with that much space open. Now you can commit free as day against Sheffield, Luton, and Wolves and Crystal Palace, I think. But this games you have to be defensively sound and not overcommit in your positioning, and you're gonna get roasted.
True.
So I think. But the problem with that is Saka, right? That's the nucleus of the problem. If Ben White doesn't know when to overlap or doesn't know when to hold back, he needs that communication with Saka to know when to do that, to look and see when the right opportunities are. So
Fair.
I don't know.
All
Starboy was not shining today.
He did not. No, neither. And to be fair, neither did Foden. No, but I'm not gonna get into Phil
We're
Foden.
not right.
Well,
We can dive into City if we want. I mean, they had 72% possession. It was just a matter of time, as I thought, before they scored.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Moving on. Kai Havertz. You got him. This is yours.
I got him. Oh,
Yep.
you had Saka, didn't you?
Yeah.
5. 5. It's
Yes.
still. It's. Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
Havertz was waiting and for Odegaard. Odegaard screaming at Havertz to get a defensive position, and while we were trying to press. Go back to Chelsea, you scrub. So I don't know. I don't know why he didn't start Trossard, and again, I don't know why he didn't put Martinelli up front. Put Martinelli on the right is like put a potato there. I mean, what does he play right? I know he can play right. But when? When has he played right? Not once this season. Not once. Jaminho, find me a game where Martinelli played on the right. Find me a game where Martinelli played up front. And it's due to this fucking donkey that we bought for $65 million. But it's worked out at times, we must admit.
It's worked out at times. It's worked out at times when we were playing badly. I mean, you can go to the Brentford game. Like both Brentford games are really where I could say, oh yeah, Kai Havertz put in a performance there. But like other than that, what?
I think he just looked lost today. Yeah, him and Jesus together is not.
They just no, and you said it before. You said it before, and I think this is where the 5 gets warranted is that you see that he has lanes and areas that he can run into, so a through ball can be put in behind the line, and he's either just a little bit offside or he's too far behind the man. Like and Odegaard can't make the pass. Like he needs to start making fucking runs. And they need to start timing these better. Otherwise, he's garbage. Otherwise, who gives a shit?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. There's times I would rather him just stick his back into Diaz, right? Like just push Diaz back, right? And then ask for the
space.
ball so he can spin around and shoot it.
Yeah.
Like you've got to put your back to the goal sometime as a striker. Giroud did it as much as we used to give Olivier Giroud crap. Shout out to the real ones in there. That guy can hold up a ball. Benzema can hold up a ball, right?
It's not like he doesn't have the size.
But he does. He's 6'3", and that's
no. That's what I'm saying. Is that it's not that he doesn't have the size.
He doesn't have the size. Right. Yeah. Exactly. 6'3". Just put your ass into him, and push these guys. Push the center backs back. Get the ball and spin. If you get the ball and you can't do anything, put it back out to Odegaard, and he'll put one in at 15, 16 yards in, hopefully top bins. I mean, there's just little things we could have done today that he could have done today to make the game easier for Odegaard, for Saka, maybe even for Jesus. But again, those two were like Humpty Dumpty running into fucking each other. Shout out Uncle Rods. The title.
Big up Uncle Rods. The title, the title's looking pretty Liverpool red right now.
Jesus do not work well together. There's evident proof of that. And they just ran into each other like a couple of fucking dildos today. Sorry. Just like,
all right, we're gonna move on.
Like floppy dicks all hitting each other. Shit. Take that image with you to bed, TJ.
Oh my God.
Deal though. I mean, come on. He's supposed to be a top football player. We've seen glimpses of brilliance. He scored 6, 7, 8 goals this season. Little things. It's just not working with him and Jesus. They don't know where to work together.
I agree. All right, let's get into the subs real quick. We'll do the subs real quick, and then I got to get out of here, guys. I'm gonna. Yep. Yeah. Netweed. We'll definitely do a call-in show in a couple of weeks. 100%. I'm out. I'm gonna be out, like literally out of state the next week or so the content will be limited on this channel. But we will do some call-in shows towards the end of the season. Okay. Takehiro Tomiyasu, I'm going to give a 5.
Ooh, that's high.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You know what? You're right. I'm gonna give him a 4. I mean, he wasn't good on the ball either. He just didn't look sharp at all.
No, well, he's been
I don't think he
injured
was
and out.
I don't think he was Gabriel Jesus level, but he didn't look sharp. He was giving the ball away. Man, maybe he was Gabriel Jesus level. Would you give him a 3?
No, because the expectation. No, because I think
I mean, the bar is low enough that I don't know.
He did keep Doku, and that's not a major task.
Doku sucks.
Yeah, right. I mean, we're bringing him back in from injury. This, he had to go in for Kiwi, or there just wasn't, right?
Yeah,
Kiwi
was gassed. He was gassed. Yeah.
So our only best option would be Tomiyasu, and a 4 or 5, whatever you think, man. But I don't think he definitely didn't get over a 5.
No, I'm gonna give him. I'm giving him a 4. I mean, he didn't make any mistakes that necessarily cost us, but he wasn't moving the ball up the pitch very well either. There were a couple of times on that left side where he had the ball and it just ended up out of bounds.
Right.
Like I just don't think he held on to it very well. I think he was slow.
This wasn't the game for him to come back. He was forced back.
Exactly. Speaking of games where I don't think the person should come in, why don't you take Thomas Partey?
4.
Yeah, I agree.
I was actually nervous when he came in, to be honest, because I just thought it's going to even slow things down a bit more, which it did. But to his praise, he did play some safe balls back to Rhea. He played some safe balls out wide. He was there for safety, so he did his job. But I still think that, like we've said before, City were there for the getting. They were there for the taking. Sorry. And if he would have just played an overhead ball like we've seen him do before and have Havertz or Martinelli or someone attached to it, I want to see some output. Don't play it too safe, Party, but that's what he was probably told to do. And in the end, it's what we needed, I guess. Because if we would have gotten him up the pitch too far, Declan Rice would have been too tired to get back, and it could have been peak in the midfield. So he did his job, but it's still I don't think he's 100% ready.
No, I agree. I'll take Trossard. He's going to get he had a chance, put it right at the keeper. I mean, didn't really see any of the options. I'm going to give him a 6 because at least he got the shot on target. He came on and he made an impact, but obviously we weren't scoring. So I don't know. Just genuinely, I'm getting to the point where I'm like, the more I think about this game, the more I'm just disappointed. But I'm giving Trossard a 6 because he at least created something, right? Like, and off the bench, we were hoping that he would be an impact. He did get the ball in deep, took the ball into the box, took a confident shot. Obviously, didn't get anything. I think the angle was bad anyway. So yeah, 6 for Trossard for me.
Fair enough.
And you got last and certainly not least, Martinelli.
I can't imagine why he was playing on the right side, but he was. Yeah. I've got to give him a 4, dude. It's just if you're brought on, you've got to make an impact.
Yeah,
Martinelli had to make an impact today and failed to do so.
Yeah. No,
I sound as negative as ER, but you're right. The more I think about it, is this we were not up to stuff today. And I know Martinelli's coming back from injury. I get that. He hasn't had the best season. I get that. But he had a chance today to make a mark. And I think you are high on Trossard because I think if he crosses that ball in front of the face of goal, Martinelli buries it within 5 or 6 yards. He was that.
I was gonna say I would have to look at that again. I'd have to take a look at that again.
Look at that because Martinelli is wide open. And unless I'm watching something else, I don't think I was because I was standing up screaming at my teammate. Because Trossard got the ball, he started taking off with it. I think with a good left foot, he would have curved that into Martinelli's path. There may have been something there. Yeah, it's up there, goal, definitely.
For sure.
But yeah, no, Martinelli, I got to give him a 4. I was expecting more off the bench. Maybe that's to my own stupidity. But yeah, I just wasn't impressed. I just wasn't impressed with anybody today except for Gabrielle.
I'm with you. No. All right. So that was the player rating segment, guys. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments after the video. And make sure that you are smashing the likes while you do so. Dal, again, thank you so much for coming on the Match Reaction Man. Shout yourself out, my brother. We are going to take it out of here.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you all for being here today. I think we got quite a few likes, quite a few views today.
Absolutely.
What can I say about the game, guys? It's just, I'm very disappointed, but I'm not, I don't think the sky's falling down. But I do think now that it's all in Liverpool's hands with the schedule they have. We have a very, very tough schedule, as ER pointed out earlier. We're looking at Villa, Spurs, Chelsea. I think there was another one that United. It's going to be tough. So all those Gooners, man, we just got to hang tight, believe that we can get something, hope that we can get something. We're falling back now to a hope strategy. Today we would have crossed a line today, but it just didn't happen, guys and gals. So anyway, we move on to Luton, TJ, and we move on to Bayern Munich, I believe. But
yes, we do.
Great show today. Thank you everyone for being here. There's tons of people streaming, obviously, but you're here with us. We appreciate that more than you know. But everyone check me out, Oregon Goon. I just do a little gaming, talk a little Arsenal shit. IG on Infamous Dow. Hit me up in the DMs. Netweed, if you got IG, hit me up in the DMs if you want to pop on for a fan show.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm open to people. We're going to have a call-in show, especially as we get towards the end of the season. The call-in shows will be really peak, really good, because everybody will be talking about, obviously the early part of this season and moving forward. So, yes, and again, happy Easter, everyone. Thank you, ER. Enjoy your rest of the weekend. Do not let football bring you down. Please do not let football bring you down. Hug your loved ones and have a pleasant holiday.
Absolutely. Happy Easter to those that celebrate. Hug your loved ones. Tell your family you love them. You never know what'll happen the next day. So again, Arsenal 0, Manchester City 0. This has been the Match Reaction. You can catch me later tonight on United Spurs of America. That'll be interesting. We got Insman TV. We got Vader again coming on. I think Vader's tired of me at this point. And I'm pretty tired of him. Love him, but tired of him. We got Jacob, and then obviously we got a Winter Surfer gonna be there for Chelsea as well. So at least we have something to laugh at. So anyway, that you can catch me there. I'm gonna be on vacation for the next week, so we're gonna chat. We're gonna have to sort American Idiots. I will not be making any appearances on any other channels, just because.
This Friday coming up, you're gonna be gone.
Yeah, I'm gonna be gone. Yeah.
Friday, okay.
So we'll talk with Connor and we'll get it sorted. But yeah, I'm gonna be gone, and I'm taking a vacation with the wife, and that is very, very important at this point. So we're gonna send you over. Again, everybody, thank you guys so much for joining. We'll see you tonight on the United Spurs of America, and we're gonna send you over to Strasbourg Steve right now, who is doing a League watch along. Make sure that you guys subscribe to Steve if you haven't already. He is so close to 1K. Go over there, hit the subscribe button, hit a like.
8 subscribers, right?
Literally 8 subscribers away, bro.
Please go subscribe to Strasbourg Steve. And thank you all again for coming in here for us today.
Absolutely. Until next time, this has been the Manchester City Arsenal match reaction. Yeah, I don't know. My brain is gone, dude. I'm absolutely fried. Later.